Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. Today is Sunday, June 12th, 2022, and I'm glad you could join me today. It is a very foggy day, which is nice because we were in the midst of a bit of a heat wave. So I got into the mid-80s, which was pretty toasty. Especially because we don't have air conditioning, so it was interesting managing that with a little baby. But we have persevered, and luckily it didn't last too long. I definitely remember a heat wave. I think it was like Labor Day weekend 2020, where it was just like, it was like 90, and it went on for a couple of days. So when the fog returned, there was much rejoicing in the land. So this was more like 2-ish days of it being pretty toasty. And I'm recording a little bit late because I ended up spending yesterday out, which was exciting. So it was Worldwide Knit in Public Day, and it was more convenient to meet on Saturday than it was Sunday this week. So ended up driving up north, east-ish, to the Black Squirrel in Berkeley and hung out there for a while, and then ended up meeting up with some more friends in Richmond. So there's a super lovely bar with like a lovely backyard with excellent shade, and tacos. So you have many of the things covered: outdoor space, delicious food, good drinks, all of that fun stuff. So it was a good time. And it was the case where I was sort of practicing some of those skills that I'll need. So it'd be the case where in a little bit more than a month I'll be going on a solo trip, and so there's a lot of stuff I need to get worked out before that's gonna go smoothly. So practicing bumping, figuring out where I'm going, how exactly all that's coming together. We'll get over it eventually. So after last week's pondering, I concluded that I needed to put a progress keeper into this project so that I could see if I was actually getting anywhere, because it it felt like I wasn't. And I think in the end it's going to be okay. I may have gotten more pure knitting time on it this week than I have been recently. So this is the Water Bearer. It is a Jacqueline Cieslak design with brioche and stockinette. So that is the back collar, and then it has a shawl collar, or it ends up having sort of a shawl collar front. I have to sort of fold it up in order to really show that off. And I added the shawl collar pattern also onto the back as well. So, like, sleeves are good. I have worked through now 2 whole balls of yarn, and I actually joined my first partial skein this week, which were leftovers from the sleeve. And I'm definitely starting to get some ball emptying vibes right now, so that's interesting. Just I haven't explicitly weighed it. So this one I think was a partial from the sleeve because it looks like it's hollowed out from the outside, and then this is the one that I had joined in after I used up the first ball. So definitely getting into some pretty hollow ball territory. And then I have this one left. I probably should have joined this one in first, but whatever. So, this is how much yarn I have left. And it's probably close enough to try on. This wouldn't have been possible yesterday, I don't think. So, like, definitely getting some pretty good coverage. But I guess at this point we're sort of to, like, it's not long enough yet. But it's definitely getting to a more plausible length, if that makes sense. So, pop up. Like, I definitely want more inches. But it would be, yeah, you can sort of see when I lift up. So when I lift up, which I don't think is a fair comparison, it's sort of in the narrowest part, or where my waist is, or a little bit past. If I drop my shoulders, it's more in line with where my shorts are. So I am going to want to dedicate as much as possible to the length of it. So I have not, or would it be the case where I did not take in anything, or would it be the case where the dart instructions are more along the lines of putting fabric in and not necessarily taking fabric out so that you can have it close at full bust? And definitely got that going on for sure. Let it be. So light continues on. It does look pretty nice. And then this orange shirt is popping. But definitely the chair camouflage sweater for sure. So, would it be Madeline Tosh Twisty K in the deep colorway? And at some point, I'm guessing at some point I'm going to run out of an additional ball, and I'll start working at single skein. But this is what has received most of my attention this week. You see me. So, should be good. Maybe I'll weigh it and see how much more really needs to be. So, really liking how long the sleeves are. And the I-cord bind off is very classy. It was definitely maybe a little bit nerve-wracking, being like, is it there yet? But I think we're good. Boop. Like, wake up, computer. So that is doing okay. I'll have to weigh it and see where I'm at in terms of how much is knit, but would it be? I'm thinking it'll still be a pretty good size sweater. And then what we have here is how much I've actually knit this week. So it's probably like a solid 2 inches, I think, maybe more. I'm fairly sure. And one of these pockets is a tape measure. The benefit to switching bags this week was, oh, it's even better than I thought. Oh man, guys, it was 4. Maybe 3 and 3/8, but, sorry, 3 and 7/8, but yeah, that's way closer to 4 than anything else, so, yay. It's like, okay, this is growing, yay. So, coming together. I haven't looked at the pattern in a while. Because chart is memorized. Would it be there are really good waypoints on it in terms of when you start switching directions, so not too worried about that. But let's just take a look and see. All right. So, like at like 11 3/4 inches from the underarm, and I would say it would be my preference to be something more like 18, but I think I'm going to have to, or I'm probably going to be constrained by yarn. More than anything else. So there's that. But it's coming along nicely. Don't even really have markers in it. I may get another locking stitch marker and plunk one in, because like it should be. Okay. There will be some hopefully decent knitting time in the next week, so, or actually it's going to be like week and a half, so there's that. So what I have in my fast scroll bag is the Scheherazade. This one will accept infinite knitting, obviously enough. And I am actually in the middle of a bead right now. I did not pick this up last night and finished sticking the beads in. So it's not tremendously farther along than it was when I showed it to you guys last. And I can definitely see a scenario where I end up putting it down for a little bit, not because I don't think it's fabulous, because it's fabulous. It's that I think I want to put some time into some new projects that I haven't cast on. It's okay. So I really should finish the bead row though. So Scheherazade is a Anna Victoria pattern. I am knitting it out of Yarn Place Gentle cobweb, and I have Fire Mountain Cobalt beads. So, but it can, or what would it be, if you're thinking about knitting in terms of making sure that you can go until, or knowing that you can like fill a certain time period with a project, this one, there's no chance I'm going to accidentally finish. gonna take a lot of time over target, a bead order. Oh, it's drizzling. Still haven't calculated how many beads it needs. But yeah. So I could see it like it is a very safe project to bring along on the trip, but then it's not a safe project because it's like beads and useful to have a scale. So that's sort of the debate there. And then I have some exciting news on the spinning front. I have finished half of the singles. So these are a combo spin of Hobbledehoy Batlings and Bungalow Farms Merino Angora that I dyed blurple. So this is the Voyager colorway with my little blurple here. And the Batlings had fun additions of bits of thread and sari silk, which give it sort of a rainbow vibe with the blue. So yeah, we're able to get that nice and close to the camera, and it looks like the focus is pretty good too, even if maybe it's a little blown out. Like I would say it's somewhere between a medium to darker blue. It was like, if my couch, or whatever, if my chair is a medium blue, then it's pretty close to that. So this should be fun. And I know I was mentioning last week how as soon as my wheel was clear, then I was going to start spinning the gray part of it. And I have. So I probably have four balls of this on here now. I think about 9-ish ends up being an ounce. Really, really loving this blend. Really looking forward to taking the Jill Duarte class about blending fiber and hopefully learning more. But at the same time, I haven't stopped the spindle project completely. So this is actually the ball that I was probably working on the last time that I showed. So I haven't quite finished it, but I'm pretty close. I ended up getting some decent spinning done. And considering my project ambiguity right at this moment, it would make sense actually to probably keep the spindle spinning to a certain extent. So it may be the case where I just set aside a couple of balls of this to finish on the wheel or something like that. I guess it may just depend on how much time I have and what I'm spending my time on too. So if I even get a chance to spin, it would seem sort of fitting because the last time I started this project on my last trip to Michigan, so one of these cups is bigger than the other. So I'm gonna have three cops of this, and I only have a small handful of these guys left. But well, it might be a big handful. It might take a little bit of squishing. So here's what I have left on the project. So this seems to me to be very doable, which would say to me that, would it be if I end up spinning 9 on there, that means I spin 3 on the spindle, and then I have a pretty contained amount of fiber left to spin on the spindle. So that would mean, what would it be? Yeah. So I have like 8 little balls left to go, but honestly it's not a big deal if I have it go one way or the other. So it's getting pretty close now. And then it was the case where once I finished the blue, then it didn't take very long at all in order to keep getting more on the wheel. There we go. Wait for the focus. So it's pretty cool. And for some reason, this particular one isn't super duper colorful one, but whatever. So I'm open to whatever ends up happening. I did end up having my drive band break again, so then I tried fixing it and it did not work, and then my spouse helped me with it and that did. So it seems like it's pretty solid. He did a really good job. Far less melty squish out, but it's probably the case where the poor band's days are numbered, but at least now it's a little bit better, because like towards the end of my pregnancy I really wasn't spinning much at all. I was not in the mood to spin, and I did not take my drive band off, and my drive band did stretch. So I was not being kind to that. And I'm guessing, like, when I was like spinning daily, that was not stretching it out. I don't know. It's a mystery. So I'm pretty sure what's going to end up going down is I'm going to be casting on for this hat soon, because I'm guessing I'll get a certain amount of teasing if I don't get this started in a reasonable time frame, or start something else before I start this. So this is to remake the beloved 1898 hat with the fiber optic merino cashmere silk. This one is Holly, this one is Morticia, and I'm swapping the colors from the original hat. So in the original hat, the band was 2 parts black, 1 part red, and the top was 2 parts red, 1 part black. But based on how much yarn I have left, if I'm making a hat of the same size, I have to swap it, so it'll be 2 parts red and 1 part black for the brim, and then 2 parts black, 1 part red for the top. And I think it'll still look good that way, because I don't really want to order more yarn. The red and black are not my colors, so there's that. Like I do like a bright red, but blues. So, and then I have to laugh at myself because I was intending to bring some bags back to friends and browned out on it. So whenever the next time is, maybe in 2 weeks. But because I ended up going to the Black Squirrel, I intended to buy something and failed. I left it for too late, and then we hurried out the door to go to the next place. But what I ended up negotiating over was to do a sample knit for them. And so the yarn they wanted to highlight is called Viento, and it's by Plymouth Yarn, and this is 70% baby alpaca, 30% 30% bamboo, and it is a chainette construction, and it is 98 yards and 50 grams. So we concluded that gray was going to look the best in the pattern. And let me look up what the pattern I am knitting is going to be. That was not the tab I was looking for. That was not the click I was hoping for either. Oh, weird. That's annoying. Okay. Okay, I will be knitting the Hillary cowl, which is a bigger than life knits pattern. So Noma Nidovu. So should be good. And now I'm like, all right. I think I've got it. So should be an interesting project. So it is a cowl, pretty big one, all things considered, and has whatever, like a garter and slip stitch pattern to it. That should be fun. And this yarn is so kitteny. It is hard to complain about a bunch of baby alpaca. And I do not have alpaca problems, so this shouldn't be a big deal. And it's going to take 5 of these 50-gram skeins in order to knit it. So what I will need to do is probably, or what will need to happen is some winding. Didn't think about that one. Let's see. Some winding, and then should be able to winding, maybe a little bit of like light swatching. It does strike me as the sort of pattern which gauge isn't super duper important. But we can check and see. It looks like I don't even need to get out my big xiaogu. I can do this with my my small set. Okay. What it beats me like browsing through and figuring out what's going on. Okay. Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. I had asked for something easy because would it be my struggles with brioche. So would it be the case of managing returning to work and keeping up with everything else that's going on. And I'm really glad I get to have this slow transition. But at the same time, I think it's actually going to be pretty nice because, well, I'll probably end up working when I'm taking the bus down to work. I am not working when I'm taking the bus back home. So that's actually a pretty solid chunk of time for knitting, which is exciting. And then, yeah, no, it was definitely a little bit of a hilarious day in which it was like asking to join someone at a table, asking for help in order to within buildings, riding the shuttle, because it'd be the case where would it be all of these there was an awful lot of like logistic stuff, and what would it be? But it was nice, because I think that I will be getting more of what I'm looking for in terms of like interaction with my colleagues if I'm actually in the office, because they'll be sitting within earshot instead of what would it be, instead of trying to message or schedule a meeting or that sort of thing. So I think it'll be good for the spontaneous interactions, which should be lovely. What's less clear, or whatever, is an unfortunate thing where the bus that I wanted to take back sometimes stops at the building where my last meeting of the day is, and I did not want to risk getting on a later bus. So I didn't even end up went to one of the meetings, but like, it's also the case where I don't think everyone on the team is ready to be all the way back. So nominally, work is expecting people to be in the office 2 days a week. Since I'm half-time, doing 1 day a week, and my boss is super cool about it even being less than that. But I would like to be in the office, so there's that. So it'll be interesting to see how everything goes this week, if it ends up going more smoothly and less wasted time. That would be nice, but I'm also like mentally like going on a trip. I don't know if it really counts as vacation. We're going on a trip. There will be some vacation elements because it is a little bit challenging to go swimming here. But it's gonna be a good long time of travel. So we shall see how all of that comes together. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a little bit of regret that we didn't try doing like an overnight trip where we figure out what of our gear is like nice to have versus must have. So that's my challenge right now, is like what do we really need to bring? And then it was, of course, the case where I decided to order something last minute that'll arrive whatever the day before we leave. So hopefully that stuff arrives on time. But yeah, no, I think there'll be some time today figuring out, like, I think I'm gonna pack early so that we have everything already, and then it'll be interesting going into a place where it is appropriate to wear shorts. I'm wearing shorts today, but not because I need to. let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to share. So, there will not be episode next week. We will figure out if it ends up slotting in later in the week or not. And that may depend on, I might have actually finished something. Wouldn't that be festive? Would it be? We're definitely in the case now where we're beginning to change gears and get the knitting difficulty better lined up with where my brain space is right now. And hopefully that's just a short-term thing. We'll see how it goes. But the brioche, I think, will be good plain knitting. Because you sort of need that right mix of, like it needs to be complicated enough. So I think that'll be good there. And hopefully there won't be a lot of picking up, putting down in that situation. And I may Iridipi, and then we'll see if the hat gets started or the cowl gets started. Whichever way that ends up breaking. It may be the case where I need to like explicitly measure my spouse's head and figure out where the various pieces are actually supposed to be. So that is the story there. Should be fun. And I don't know, there might be a finished spinning project. That's probably the closest one. And then I'll need to find time to get the fiber prep for my next one on the side. Decide to have a quick fun spin before Tour de Fleece starts. But based on the timings, yeah. I also need to be the case where I will be participating in the Fun Onion Challenge, but they haven't yet posted their challenges, so I can't figure out how to shoehorn my spin the bin sweater spin into the Tour de Fleece challenge. Because when I finish this, I just have a pound of fiber to go, and I'll be doing that on my reel, which will be much faster than how long the process has taken for this 8 ounces, which I started late July 2021. There have been some other stuff fun since then, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, so it seems like the dance card is pretty full. It's just a matter of slowly moving forward on stuff. Liking to do so. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time. Alright, take care guys. Bye-bye.